So a lot of you guys probably didn't hear about this because most of you probably don't care, but Roblox removed their Arthro sort from the Games tab. Now, for those of the people that knew, they supported the decision, and you probably do too. And Koniko Kitten, a massive 1.15 million Roblox News YouTube channel, also decided that the Arthro sort was worthless and not useful on the Roblox tab. Now I, as part of an absolutely tiny majority, disagree. In a way. Hopefully you've never watched my YouTube channel before, but I'm a small boy. I only have about 5,000 subs, and I play a little game on Roblox called Cube Defense. Now, Cube Defense is little, but that doesn't mean it isn't a good game. What you've been watching right now is gameplay of Cube Defense, which is set to have a massive update coming sometime very soon that will completely rebalance the game to make it more fun for everyone at every level. Cube Defense has been a small game for a long time now. It was created around 2 years ago, and I won't lie, back then it was a small game for a reason. It wasn't really good. But over time, the game has gotten better, with improvements to gameplay stability and so much more. The game is now comparable, in my opinion at least, to most other large games on the Roblox platform, but we're still small. However, the developers made the decision a while ago to apply for the Arthro sort back when it was still there, and guess what? We were approved. So, Cube Defense is now on the Arthro sort, and it was probably one of the biggest games on the Arthro sort, with, at the time, around 500 concurrent people, usually. Except for that changed because with the Arthro sort, people started seeing the game, and that number increased. Over time, we saw that number increase to nearly 1,000 concurrent people. We nearly doubled in our average concurrent people. Our welcome badge for the game, which was given to any new player to join the game, was at around 15,000 new players per day and was increasing itself. And our Halloween and Christmas events were massive successes that spiked player interest to a never before seen level. I had hopes Cube Defense could finally reach the summit and find itself alongside the many other large games on the Roblox platform. But then the Arthro sort was removed. It's been 2 weeks, and every statistic has plummeted. Our player counts are back to below 500. Our welcome badge is now getting less than 3,000 new people a day. That number has plummeted to such a significant degree. Cube Defense isn't on the Games tab anymore, and so now everything has completely plummeted. We aren't shown to the general player base of Roblox. To find our game, you have to either 1, search it up specifically yourself, 2, have it discovered somehow through an outside source, or 3, manage to have it suggested to you alongside 80 or so other games in the suggested for you sorts on the Games tab. So why is this such a problem? Well, the Arthro sort, in fact, was not itself a problem. And I really don't lean one way or another for Arthro. I use it myself, I will admit, but I could care less if a person uses it or not. No, the real problem is the fact that large games on the Roblox platform are getting all the support, with little games finding little to none. To get big on the Roblox platform, you either have to have yourself gain massive interest upon your first release of the game, or get big sponsorship from big people in high places. This means little games, no matter how great their quality may be, will never, ever reach the level that big games reach, purely because Roblox doesn't want to support them. I'm still disgusted by the fact that All Stars Tower Defense, the most popular tower defense game on Roblox at the moment, is somehow more popular and more supported than the many other much better tower defense games on the platform, such as Tower Defense Simulator or Tower Heroes, or even Cube Defense for that matter. It became popular because it had anime characters in the game. Anime got the game to 50,000 concurrent players on the platform and the top of the popular list. Is it gameplay-wise any better than the other 3 tower defense games I mentioned? Along with many others I know that could easily outdo it? No. The game was released with many bugs and many problems, and managed to gain a top spot on Roblox's platform due to anime. What does this tell other game designers on the platform? Couple of things I could take away from this is if you're creating a game and it doesn't blow up whenever you first release it, try again. Get rid of that game. It's not going to get anywhere. And another thing I could take away is make your game about anime and you are sure to succeed. Now, you see the problem here? Now, if I must be honest, All-Star Tower Defense right now isn't a bad game. That's actually a really good game. It's gotten better over time, but it still is not nearly as good as some other tower defense games on the platform. But even so, the fact still remains. Popular games aren't made popular by the effort their creators put into them. They are made by how hot they are on first release, or how many people you can get hyped for the release in the first place. There is no support for games that get better over time. None. They're stuck in a dark place where they have no support and no ability to grow. This is the problem. The Arthur Sword provided these smaller games an ability to gain a fan base and prove that they could indeed be popular games. But when Roblox took down the sword, it was like cutting the roots off a tree. The tree can't grow without water, just like a game can't grow without new players. Does this mean I want the Arthur Sword to come back? No, not really. I think the Arthur Sword original intent was not being met in the first place. Arthur was a big failure, and the sword being meant for Arthur was not a good reason to have a sword on the game's tab. However, people were going to the games on the Arthur Sword. Cube Defense is proof. Its statistics that I showed you earlier are proof that the Arthur Sword was giving interest to games. The Arthur Sword was providing smaller games an opportunity, a way to show people that they could entertain, that they could be enjoyable. But this really isn't a good way to sponsor small games. There needs to be something dedicated to showing users less popular games so that any developer out there can prove that his or her game is worth playing. But I know some of you have already pointed out, there's a featured sort. That shows people new games. That's how new games get shown off and all that stuff. If you look closely, you'll notice that most of the games on the featured sort are actually already on the games tab. Not all of them. No, there are some on there that aren't and that are actually new to the games tab and deserve sponsorship, but a majority of them are already located in other places on the games tab, kind of ruining the effect of the featured sort. Now, I don't usually get mad. Actually, I'm someone that usually prefers peace over an argument, but I decided to stand up and be the minority's voice here. In response to Koneko Kitten's video, I hope I said his name right, in which he said that the Arthur Sword was worthless and that nobody ever touches the sword ever, and that the games on there were worthless. I can say that some of the things that he said on there, I can agree with. However, the things that I just said, along with a few other things, I heavily disagree with. I don't think he meant to be wrong, and I don't think that he meant to say them in a way that would so clearly wrong, and I don't hate Koneko Kitten for that, nor do I encourage any hate towards him. But the Arthur Sword was giving life to some games, and it is painful and discouraging to me to see them stuffed out so carelessly. I hope you can put yourself in the perspective of one of these game designers wanting to grow and improve their game, but discouraged by the fact that Roblox doesn't seem to want to support its smaller developers. Yes, being smaller means you haven't proven yourself yet, that you aren't this great developer that can make great games. You haven't proven that if you're small. But you gotta have an ability to prove yourself in the first place. Alright guys, I hope you were able to put up with my soapbox speech. Again, I have no hate towards Koneko Kitten or encourage any hate towards him or any other people that think that their Arthur Sword was worthless. I actually agree with them to a degree. I just want to see game designers of any level given the ability to grow their game. And hopefully you guys can agree with me. A link to the game you've watched will be linked in the description below, and I do encourage you go check it out once to see what it is like. As for those of you that have already discovered this game and are enjoying it, playing it, speak out, talk about it on social media. I thank every one of you who does so. And thank you for your time. I'm done now. My voice is dying. Enjoy your day, everybody. See you later.